So you're doing this when we're contracting it?
No, no. I'm just like you. I'm doing what the city is not doing. No, you said the city, they didn't come by this year.
No, I think it's been maybe 3 or 4 years.
I'm just blown away. That ain't no mower. What?
You can see like a chocolate loud dog running this way.
I actually did.
You know which way it went?
White apartments.
Give me somewhere to look at this.
Don't have any hazards or anything. Hey, there's the dog. Hold on, I gotta do something real quick. Every time I do these makeovers, it's always garbage day. And the way I park, I always block the view for the garbage man. Look what we got today. Another project for the vent track. And it loops around here, starting to creep over on the street. It's a bit harder to find projects nowadays, especially since everything is kind of drying out. But I did come by this property. It's a empty lot, essentially. However, it borders a huge apartment complex, and the grass here is overgrown. We also have a slope here. Perfect opportunity to test the Ventrax's capabilities. As you can see, somebody comes in here with a trimmer and trims maybe like a foot. Kind of keeps the grass from overgrowing, but we're gonna take it back probably an additional 20 feet. And another reason why we want to do it is because we don't want people or pets or anybody else exposed to what could be hiding back here, like snakes, ticks, so on and so forth. Now it continues all the way down to those apartments. That might be a task for another day. We're gonna try to kind of stop right in this area and shoot straight down to about, I'd say here. Maybe mow a little bit more, I'm not too sure, depending on time. We'll have to play it all by time. But stuff out here, pretty tall, chest high, weeds, grass, you name it is in here. We also need to be careful for rocks and other debris that could be hiding. We definitely don't want to run over them with our Ventrac. See, like stuff like this, huge rock. Yeah, we need to get that out of the way. So basically for this job, there's not much to it other than a lot of Ventrac work, a lot of mowing, and we will do some trimming. I think on some of the slopes, we're more than likely going to be pushing that 30-degree maximum. So if I feel uncomfortable or if I feel like it's slipping, we're just gonna call it quits and get our string trimmer and string trim the rest of that hill and then blow off the debris. So stay tuned to the end for the amazing before and after pictures. I pray that nothing bad happens and we don't run into any issues. Let's begin working. slung this whole rod forward probably 20 feet with some powerful blades. Got some kids watching me. I know I definitely need to be careful with my surroundings, being on a large piece of equipment like this. I guess with any equipment, you got to watch out for people, especially kids. I know a story where a father was mowing his lawn with his tractor, and one of his kids went right behind it, and you guys, I don't need to tell the rest of the story. You guys know what happened there, but stuff like that, if you got kids running around playing, I mean, I'd quit everything. I'd quit everything if that ever happened. Alright guys, gonna take a little water break. It's a must to remove the ignition key from your tractor, especially when you're kind of parked a little bit where you can't see your tractor. I guess I could have parked it a little bit closer, but here's the update. Pretty much got everything mowed down to 3 inches, and the rest is just open field. So again, we're just creating a divider for the whole entire block here. We will start working on this area here. We need to get the street side cleaned up, and then we will travel around some of these, I don't know, linden trees or what, but then also go around this area and kind of open up the trees a little bit, give them more of a structure. But anyways, yeah, we'll return here in a minute. Well, for you it'll be a second, but I'm gonna take a little water break.
Loud dog running this way, didn't
I actually did.
Oh, you did? You know which way it went?
Yeah, it went that way near those white apartments.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Give me somewhere to look at these things.
There you go. All right, finished with my water. A couple things about this place. First of all, what I have noticed is this is kind of a busy street. People go back and forth in between 2 other busy streets, and so we got to be careful. And since we are kind of in a shaded area, I'm going to turn on my lights. That's a must. I don't have any hazards or anything. Hey, there's the dog. We also have a dumping ground. Now, I don't know who's dumping over here, but that's a bit shameful. Come on now. And lastly, I don't want to go too deep because we do have some growing bushes here. They're not weeds, they're actual bushes. So I don't want to go too deep, but we do want to take this back because the street goes just a bit farther back. So we're going to cut into it. Be careful around debris and be careful around traffic. Huh?
That's gonna look nice.
Yeah?
Thanks for doing that. I've been here 32 years. The city used to come by because this gal, she'll only mow her property, kind of afraid to take her mower off of what's perfectly level. Every corner is on the other side of there. That iron pipe would be. I don't know if you can whack something that big.
Probably not the
getting
flail
close.
mower. Maybe if I had a tough cut deck, I could knock that down.
That's getting close.
Yeah.
But at any rate, yeah, that looks great. Thanks.
At least
for
the
doing
tall
that.
grass and weeds. You said the city, they didn't come obviously by this year.
No, and in
Did they come by
fact,
last year?
I think it's been maybe 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're responsible for what? You say 10 feet or?
Well, yeah, to the right of way. Yeah, so you're doing this for a contractor?
No. Okay. I'm just like you, homeowner. But no, I'm not contracted by the city. I'm doing what the city is not doing.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now you made me feel guilty for not getting.
No.
Hey, thanks. I'll let you get
All
back
right.
at it.
Hey, take care. Good talking to you.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're gonna be going off the deep end right now. Hopefully we don't get stuck, but I do want to walk it and make sure there's nothing hiding. No. say, guys, none of my mowers would do what this Ventrac is doing right now. Even the Grandstand HDX, yes, it might mow, but it ain't mulching up like this thing is. As you can see, it mulches up everything pretty much finely. And if you go over it one more time, then it really disappears. But mowers, nah, they won't even come close to mowing this stuff, especially all of these shooters or suckers or saplings, whatever you want to call them. Watch this. Now that's power. That ain't no mower. That ain't no mower. I don't know what that thing is, but I'm just blown away by what I can take down with this thing. It's a flail mower attachment. It's not even the tough cut, and it's taking down saplings that are at least an inch. Wow, so I wasn't anticipating doing that much, but hey, look at that. Kind of outlined all of the trees. Now, I checked some of this bushy area here. There's a lot of like stumps and big logs, stuff I don't want to run over. So I think we pushed it enough to where it's somewhat clean, you know what I mean? Somewhat clear. Let me know what you guys think. I think it looks awesome so far. But what I'm thinking is, you know what? Since we're here, I think we should knock out the whole field. What do you guys think? Should we do it? Why not, right? The only thing I do need to do is get a drone in the air for a higher shot. I'll still record the sound, but the drone will be like up in the air, like up here. A little bit taller than my tripod, so you guys can get a higher shot, higher view of what I'm doing, and I'll just mow back and forth and speed it up super fast. All right, there goes my first battery on the drone. Now that we kind of flew it, got some shots with the drone, let's go ahead and just focus on the original video like we were doing and get this tall stuff right here, and then we'll finish up the rest. How about that? All right, guys, we are on our home stretch. We just got that square to finish and then some touch-up work with the trimmer and blower, and we are pretty much done. So this phone's battery is getting pretty low. Check out this cool feature. I think it needs to be running. Hold on. So we got a phone charger, but this is the phone that's getting low. So I'm gonna swap it out with that guy, use that one to film, while this one charges. And I hope to see you guys at the end. I'm actually curious to see if it's fast charging. Let's see. Charging. So it's not fast charging, but that's all right. Alright guys, all finished up. I honestly didn't anticipate in mowing the whole field, but hey, we got it done. It took a solid, 40 minutes, not too bad. We got the whole thing done. As you can see, there just might be a part 2. So I don't know if it's gonna be next week's, more than likely not, but I will go and do that part because there is another apartment complex where the guy lost his dog. That one needs to be mowed as well. So we're gonna cut the other field along with mowing near the apartments in a different time, so stay tuned. There might be a winter video, maybe it'll be a spring release, I'm not too sure, because I do have like 28 or 29 backup videos for the winter time, so I'm loaded. I got you guys covered for the winter. Hope you subscribe, hope you smash the like button and click the bell notification to be notified when the next newest upcoming video releases. I got to be careful, there's traffic like I was talking about. That way you're the first one to be able to see the video, comment on it. Usually the very first people that comment, they get them likes. I don't know if you guys care or not about likes, but hey, I always love to read you guys' comments and see what you guys are up to, where you're watching from. All those comments are awesome. I hope to see you guys in the next one. So again, take care, God bless you, we'll see you in the next one, and enjoy these before and after pictures.